You are listening to my papa and my uncle Polly on the Co and Bro Opinion Show. Stay tuned.
Coming to you live, it's the Co and Bro Opinion Show.
Now here are your hosts, Corey Tiez.
He may have advanced illusionary schizophrenia with involuntary narcissistic rage, but he is a very gentle person.
And the outsider, Scotty William.
Goddamn white boy.
You take forever to say nothing.
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Co and Bro Opinion Show, right here on the Kavana Broadcast Network. We just wrapped up the Roar Live, working it away as we here in the Outsider Studios. Here in the Big Mitten. Somewhere in the Big Mitten. Well, I'll tell you what. What do you want to start with? You got the topics. We'll just go with the flow.
It's just you know how we do it at the Co and Bro. We just talk. It's just conversation.
Sure.
What did the kid say? The kid say on the CBS morning show. I forget his name. Gail King. I forget.
Burleson?
Not Burleson. The other guy.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really watch CBS like that.
Yeah. He said He says I don't go to work in the morning. I go to have coffee and talk about the world with my friends. Great job. So this is what the Co and Bro is. We just talk about the world and have Pepsi.
Yeah. Coffee.
Listen, it's just my opinion at the end.
Sure.
I saw, the draft.
Okay.
2 weeks away. I wanted to ask you,
Okay.
NFL draft, ladies and gentlemen, in Green Bay, April 24th. What do your Detroit Lions, and if you have anything you want to discuss, shoot it out.
Sure.
What do your Detroit Lions need? What are they looking for to get over the hump in this draft? What do you think they need to draft?
The Lions?
Because everybody makes Holmes this great drafter, GM. Some of the stuff he had to take that wasn't. I mean, you had to take Hutch. He got lucky with Jameer. There wasn't a plan. He was just out there. But some of the stuff was pretty easy. So I want to know what. Now that you guys are a 15-win team, what's the next step? What are they looking for?
Well, I think hey, Holmes has done a good job. Mm-hmm. Holmes has done a good job, and so has Dan Campbell.
Well, he missed on Micah. He missed on the other kid.
Who?
Who was the big edge rusher? The one that had he's playing with the Giants now. He had the issues.
Oh, Thibodeau?
Not Thibodeau. It was another guy. I forgot his name. He was kind of a off the field, a couple of off the field issues. Good pass rusher. I forgot his name, but we'll get to that. Go ahead.
Okay, well, let's see. They're thinking Cam Ward is the first pick for the Titans. Are you high on Cam Ward?
No.
I'm not either.
I'm not high on Shedeur.
No. I don't even know how high I am on Travis Hunter.
I would like to see him. I would play him at receiver. I wouldn't play him at corner.
Well, they have, according to this AI mock draft from the USA Today, they have Shedeur at going to 3 to the Giants. I don't know if that he's going to go there. I don't think he's a quarterback to me. And I know we were talking about what the Lions needed, but I was just interested to see, what these other teams needed. Because every time you look at a mock draft, it doesn't end up ever becoming what it is anyway.
Right.
Because people trade out of the positions and all that.
Right.
Do you think Shedeur as a 3 pick to the Giants is a good thing, especially with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston there already? I don't know if Shedeur is the guy. Listen, I like Shedeur. I think his athleticism is good. I don't know if he's like a star quarterback in the making.
He's not. I don't think. And this is just my opinion. It's Cornbrew Opinion Show. So I don't know. He could fool us. The kid's obviously talented, but no big arm. He's not the fastest guy. Now, what he does do well is he sees the field. You know, he holds on it too long, I think. He does process things, and that's a lot. That's what you have to do.
Sure.
Peyton, great processor, you know. So that's a plus. Giants know somewhere where he can play in a system that plays to his strengths. Giants know. No, I don't see that. Well, first of all, Winston's not going to play.
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Winston is to me, I think he's a good.
He's not going to start.
He's not going to start. I think he's a good backup.
That's what he is.
Because here's the thing. Here's a guy that can lead a team to win. But on the other set, he's either boom or bust.
Right. So half busting
right.
if he comes in as a backup. So you don't have to worry about him throwing 40 picks. You can just have him, throw 20 picks.
Well, now, where do they need to go? The Lions need to go. I mean, obviously, they need to shore up their defensive line. This AI USA Today. Guess who they have going to the Lions at 28? You want to guess?
No.
Your boy Will Johnson, cornerback, Michigan.
I don't think so.
You think he's going to go higher than that?
Yeah, I got a source actually last night. Miami, San Francisco, Raiders.
Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because I know I've had my outspoken opinions on Will, and I like Will as a kid. He's a good kid.
And New Orleans.
But I don't know. Do you think Will is going to be that guy shutdown corner in the NFL? And the reason I say that is I think, to me, no, listen, he didn't really have much to play for last year with Michigan, and he's been hurt. And I think did he participate in the combine at all? No. Does that kind of throw up some red flags?
Again, it depends.
I mean, we see what he did in the national championship year with Harbaugh, but does it I don't know. I mean, I like the kid. I think he's a good kid. We know his dad. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not trying to be negative. But do you think? I mean, I know there's a strategy of, well, we don't want you to perform in the combine because probably for some ungodly reason it's probably to maybe
he had some injuries.
Yeah. But to me it's like, okay, you didn't really play last year. Does it show? I don't know. Is it a character issue? Meaning, like, okay, you didn't really have much, and I know the NCAA football. It's all it's all how much money you can get and all this other stuff. But he didn't play much, whether it was because he was hurt or anything else like that. But sometimes don't you have to play through some injuries to show your grit, so to speak? You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything like I don't think he's. I think he's a talent, but this mock draft has him going down to 28, which when we talked about Will Johnson earlier in the football season, he was definitely going to be a top 5 pick or top 10 pick, but it seems like it's kind of weaseled its way down. So now I'm just wondering if the injuries, it's like it almost makes you as a NFL franchise almost in the back of your head say, well, what are we missing here? We see the highlight tapes of what he's done, Mr. Pick Six, all that other stuff, great stuff. But then now all of a sudden, he kind of like sat out pretty much the whole season last year at Michigan to a certain extent. And, he's had injuries. Are they hiding something as a franchise? For me, it's like if I was an owner of a team, yeah, he's a great talent, but not playing and not trying to. I mean, were any of these injuries like career threatening?
Well, I think the turf toe is bad, and the shoulder. I don't know if it was a shoulder. I can't remember.
Because it's not going to get any easier in the NFL.
Right. So you want to. I think you want to prep for that.
Okay.
And kind of work out, keep your body in shape, keep your technique. You want to work out, you want to go and do your pro days and stuff like that. I think to be totally honest with you, I think the combine is like spring training. I think it's a joke.
Okay.
So let's get that out of the way. You got to remember, when Will did all this stuff, he was a freshman.
Okay.
He covered everybody's best corner. He shut down the side. Will he shut down in the NFL? First of all, there's only one shutdown corner ever to live. Deion Sanders. So I'm not going to even put that pressure on him. They say Revis, Woodson was a good corner. Both Woodsons were good corners. Mm-hmm. Revis. There's no shutdown corner but Deion.
Right.
Period, point blank, end of story. Surtain is great. He's not a shutdown corner. And I love Surtain. Sauce is great. He's not a shutdown. Will Will be a shutdown corner as a rookie? No.
Do you think what you're saying is
Will
he's definitely an NFL talent,
Absolutely.
but he's not. Do you think he might not be starting quality in the beginning? He might have to sit a little bit.
No. Starter. He has everything you want in a corner. Size, strength, speed, technique, vision, toughness, height, everything. And it also depends. No matter where he goes, he's going to start. If he came here, he'd be your best defensive back, period.
If he came to Detroit.
Absolutely. Right off the rip. Better than Rakestraw, better than Arnold. Easy. Better than Davis, if he was there. He's sitting in the green room. So he's in the green room. So he's going to go high. Right?
Okay.
So he's in the green room.
Well, we've seen that go haywire.
It could go haywire.
And I'm I'm not trying to pile on Will at all. I just find it, when you look at these mock drafts, and like I said, we all have, most of the time, what is it, Mel Kiper, he's wrong. I think I read an article, he's wrong 90% of the time. So looking at CBS's mock draft, they have Will Johnson going at 13 to the Dolphins.
What did I just tell you?
Dolphins, Raiders, and
Frisco. And maybe New Orleans. So is Will top 5? It's the teams, what you need.
Right.
I think insiders know way more than me
Right.
of what they're going to do with Will and what they see in Will. I think Will comes to the NFL and he starts immediately. Absolutely. No question about it. He's just as good as Sauce. The kid is just, he just has it. Like,
You think he's as good as Sauce?
coming like rookie.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's a kid. He's got a long way to go.
Sure.
But I think he starts for any NFL franchise that he comes out. Now, it's not going to be easy. It gets tougher and tougher.
Sure.
But we thought Ryan Leaf would be good.
That's true. That is true.
We thought Ty Detmer would be good. Mm-hmm. Your guy, Baker, is solid now.
Right.
Baker started off horrible.
Do you think Will ends up being an All-Pro?
So yes. So
Okay.
it's not the number where you go.
Right.
It's who you go to.
Okay. Well, that's true.
In
anything.
Yeah, in anything. I think the kid is solid. He works his tail off. Sometimes you have to, playing hurt with nothing to play for, and you just want to start your career, sometimes you have to shut it down. You you got to look out for the kid. You got to protect the kid. Like I think they should have, and I think they did fine. I think next week, the 24th, will be fine. And wherever he goes, that franchise is going to have a difference maker. It may not be when Will first started as a freshman, he was getting beat, and you seen what happened after that. That's work ethic, that's skill, that's determination, that's size, that's strength, that's poise, that's everything. I think he has it all as a corner. Like I said, I think he's the best player at his position throughout the draft. That's just me. I think he's a better corner than Shedeur is a better quarterback. He plays his position better than Shedeur. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That's what I'm thinking. I think Will will be fine. Like I said, if he came here, he'd be the number one corner. And I think if he goes to the Dolphins, he'd be the number one corner.
Interesting.
If he goes to Frisco.
Now, according to CBS Sports, and like I said, you could go to CBS Sports, NBC Sports, whatever. They have Will. So here's their top prospects: Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Cam Ward, Will Campbell, LSU, Mason Graham, Michigan. Colston, they have Colston Loveland
He's
ahead of Will.
I like him. Tight end, offense, yeah. Tight end.
They list Will as the 23rd top prospect. So, with that being said,
A lot of it is out of sight, out of mind.
right.
But that's the mock draft. So we'll see.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to him coming here to Detroit. I think, that would be a good fit. We need a shutdown corner. But when you asked me the question, what the Lions need, I think they need an outside edge rusher, and or a guard.
They need some help on the offense. Offensive line's getting old.
Yes.
Glasgow your main guy's hurt a lot. He has a.
And according to CBS Sports, they show the Lions drafting, of course, this is the blessed mock drafts. Tyler Booker, inside offensive line from Alabama.
Yeah.
Interesting pick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they trade out of that position. They're either going to do one or two things. They're going to trade up to grab somebody and it'll be somebody that we wouldn't be. I mean, there's just got to be a lot of, when you look at the scenarios, edge rushers, Mike Green is probably, from Marshall, he's a top 10 talent, top 10 prospect. They're showing him going to Carolina. I think with that pick, though, at 28, it doesn't give you, it'll give you more latitude, I think, to grab more picks, say, in the later rounds, which Holmes has done a good job at doing. And I think probably you could pick up the kind of players that you need trading down and out of that 28 spot, where you could go and grab two defensive ends or a top quality offensive lineman.
They need another offensive line.
Because to me, if you're not, obviously to me, Mason Graham is probably the best from Michigan. Is probably the best offensive line player that's available. Maybe Zabel from North Dakota State, but then again, Gray Zabel, you gotta think about what kind of talent you've played up against. North Dakota State,
Right.
He's 6'6", 312. They have him going to the Bengals at 17.
They need it.
They definitely need it. Joe Burrow, I think, would be happy with that. But Josh Simmons, they have him offensive tackle. You could get somebody like that. But when you look at it, though, there's really nobody to me in this draft, when I look at the first-round mocks, that say, that guy's just going to be the
Tear it up.
tear it up. Don't get me wrong. I think Cam Ward's a good quarterback, and I think he'll be a good starter somewhere. But other than that, I mean, everything's kind of like I don't know if I'm 100% sold on anybody from Ohio State.
Well, quarterbacks are the sneaky part
Yeah.
because, with the exception, of Peyton, like a lot of quarterbacks come from not the big schools. A lot of great ones. Josh Allen, Lamar. I mean, like not all of them. Baker wasn't any good. He came from Oklahoma. And Brady didn't. Michigan, but took him. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't. You get surprised with the quarterback. The quarterbacks that are supposed to be are not to be's.
To me, I think I wouldn't be. What if Jackson Dart is readily available at 28? A guy that, here's a guy that's, to me, from what I've been reading and seeing, he's a kind of a quarterback that could be a steal of the draft.
Well, you need
QB back.
Well, you need
a quarterback.
You need a quarterback
to sit under golf for a couple seasons.
To me,
yeah,
you need a sneaky receiver too. You need a different receiver. You need another receiver. First of all, they're not going to pay J-Mo and him, Amon-Ra, $30 million or $40, whatever they get. I don't see J-Mo. He may not even be here. And I always say you still need another receiver, even if they have J-Mo. So that could be, somewhere they're looking at some type of big target on the other side. You definitely need a backup player. Still, who's the backup? What's his name?
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen.
They just picked up Kyle Allen, and obviously Hendon Hooker hasn't panned out for him, at least to this point. And from what we've seen of Hendon Hooker, even in preseason when we were covering the Lions last year, I was not impressed. And I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that Teddy Bridgewater had to come into that game fresh off of winning the high school head coach, winning the championship with his former high school,
Right.
in a situation in the playoffs, and you didn't go with Hendon Hooker, it just kind of says to me maybe they need to move on from Hendon. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded. There's a lot of. I mean, he might just fit elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because
sometimes you don't fit where you start. I mean, heck, again, I can go back to Baker.
Yeah.
He's where he fits now. Now, again, you're going to need the help of the whole cavalry.
Right.
So it's going to be an interesting year for the Lions because of the coordinator stuff.
Sure.
So they have to draft carefully. They have to draft the need.
Oh, I agree.
They have to draft.
You definitely carefully. They carefully have to do this draft.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I've never really seen, so far since Brad's been here, the Lions really going hog wild crazy like they did in previous seasons when they were drafting Brandon Pettigrew and they were going after these tight ends that really didn't pan out. Eric Ebron, stuff like that. I mean,
well, they got a solid one now.
Yeah.
Everybody, went crazy and thought he was Gonzalez all of a sudden, but he's just solid. He's okay. He didn't have the greatest year last year. He had a better year his rookie year. But that's the NFL. Teams pick up. But the Lions have to draft carefully.
I think I want to see them.
They have to make the right.
I think I want to see them trade that pick and get more picks in the later round.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
I just have a sneaky suspicion that's probably what they'll do.
Okay.
I mean, it would be different, I think, if they were picking in the top 10.
Yeah, if they were picking the top 10, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Me personally, I would draft a quarterback.
Well, I'll tell you something. There's some quarterbacks that could fall. And I don't even know if I really dig these quarterbacks. I had heard a rumor that they were looking at Jalen Monroe from Alabama. I don't know if I would go. I just didn't think Jalen Monroe played well for Alabama.
He's up and down. I would draft a quarterback to replace Goff. That's what I'm saying. Not a backup.
What, to start now? It's not going to happen, dude. You can't say that. That's just, no. That's not going to happen. I mean, this.
No, they need a backup. They never get a backup. They never get the backup right.
They have. I mean, this draft does have some decent quarterback that could be good prospects.
And backups. None of these quarterbacks to me are coming in, and they're Mr. Daniels.
No,
none of them. None of these quarterbacks coming in.
But there's enough of them that could be that could sit for a while and become starters down the road.
That's fine. That's fine.
Right now, according to the prospect ranking, Cam Ward, he'll be a first-round pick. Shedeur, Jackson Dart, Jalen Monroe, Quinn Ewers from Texas,
Okay.
Kyle McCord from Syracuse, Will Howard from Ohio State.
Not sold.
I'm not sold on either one of those guys. Kyle McCord, kind of got out of Dodge with and transferred to Syracuse from Ohio State. Dylan Gabriel from Oregon. I've never been sold on any Oregon quarterback when you think about it.
Y'all had Harrington. Didn't y'all love him?
Yeah. Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. He could be a guy that you could pick up in the later rounds.
I don't see.
It could be decent.
To be honest with you,
6'4".
I think the next year's it was supposedly.
Okay.
This year I don't see nothing. Nothing just takes my breath away quarterback wise. Nothing.
Nothing in this draft really to me. And it's funny because you got a lot of these guys when I'm looking at these rankings. A lot of these guys like Ashton Genty. I've heard Dallas. Mm-hmm. I've heard the Raiders for him. Mm-hmm. I think he'll be pretty good. Boise State. Mm-hmm. Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. I don't know too much about him.
The kid from Penn State, the linebacker. I forget his name.
But he's coming off of ACL or Achilles, something like that. But running back wise, this junior from Ohio State, Kinshawn Judkins. Mm-hmm. We seen Travion Henderson play more to me, but they list Judkins ahead of him. Mm-hmm. But other than that, when you're really looking at the players,
who has the top 5 picks? Tennessee, Giants, Cleveland. Who else?
Draft order is this: Tennessee, Browns, Giants, Patriots, Jags.
They all need everything.
So according to this, Tennessee needs an edge, a wide receiver, a linebacker, tight end, defensive line, and its safety. They don't even show a QB on here.
Who was their quarterback?
Will Levis.
They need a quarterback.
Exactly. I agree with you on that. Cleveland needs everything. QB, running back, linebacker, wide receiver, DL, tight end.
They need it all.
Giants, they definitely need a quarterback.
They need it all.
Inside offensive lineman, offensive tackle.
They can use a running game.
Yes, but they don't show running back as a need.
The Giants are terrible.
The Patriots, basically offensive line,
receiver,
a receiver, and then the Raiders. They need offense. They need defense. They need everything.
They need a quarterback. Everything. Oh, they have Geno. They have Geno.
Yeah.
But again, that's
right. Exactly. So you have that, and then the Panthers are 8th. Chicago's 10th. They're showing defensive line, cornerback, safety,
offensive line. They got some. They shored it up.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Your Cowboys, inside offensive line, wide receiver, defensive line, safety, cornerback, linebacker. So they need everything on defense.
I would say no. I would say they need a run game. They need offensive line help. They need another receiver. The corners I'm fine with. Bland and Diggs I'm fine with.
Even though they get hurt?
They need that's on that. I mean, nothing you can do about that. They lead the league in interceptions. And Overshown, if he comes back and Micah, you get them. The defense ain't the issue. It's Dak and I think they need a running back. And they were talking about Amari Cooper coming back, but they need something else to take the pressure off.
Well, do you see the? I had seen something that
back,
Dak could be traded in the draft.
That's fine. Fine. We can't win with him anyway. But Duato, the running back, he came on last year, whatever his name, and give him another assistant. Give him some help. But if Dak goes, that's fine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much.
I like the back from that. What's his name? I do like him. He's a home run hitter. But yeah, we'll see. It's a team. Your picks got to be very on point. All these teams,
I mean, it's definitely going to be a good draft. I'm going to watch it. It's always nice
like
watching the draft.
Yeah.
Just to see who goes where.
Who goes what? Who needs what?
I am actually looking forward to see what the Lions do.
Yeah.
Brad Holmes has made it a point to get multiple picks, try to get more picks, and he's been successful with that so far.
It's going to be an interesting year for them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think they took a step back.
What else you got?
But
Anything?
we'll see. So tomorrow, what's today's date?
The 13th.
Okay, so 100 years or something ago, the Titanic sank, right?
Okay.
So I get all this stuff on my phone. Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Guy comes up, says this is a sinking theory about the Titanic.
Okay.
April 12th, 1904? 1914. 1912.
Okay.
I think it was. So J.P. Morgan, the banker, right?
Okay.
He owned the Titanic. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. He also owned the Octavia or whatever, another big ship like that.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. You heard it too?
Yeah. That wasn't the Titanic that sank. It was the Octavia.
Because the Octavia was trash. And it had all sorts of issues. So it was destined to sink. Morgan, who was supposed to be on the ship, canceled an hour before. He wasn't going. Morgan's competitors, most of them died
On the ship.
on the ship. And they said it was this big insurance thing with the Titanic.
It's so funny. A lot of these conspiracy
I love
theories
history.
that are
It's
kind
interesting.
of coming into
That one's
view,
interesting.
so to
Yeah,
speak.
that one's very interesting.
Well,
That one's very interesting.
that one.
I'm going to look more into it. But yeah. JP, and I didn't know he owned the Titanic.
Well, and then there, the whole thing with JFK, all the conspiracy theories with that.
Yeah, I just bought a new book on that too.
And, of course, they found Noah's Ark
Really?
in the mountains. Yep.
The mountain?
Yeah. Because when the flood came and there was so much water that it was above the mountains that when it came to set sail, when the waters receded, that's how there's this huge ship in, I think it's in Turkey or something like that, in the mountains, and they do all the 3D scanning and stuff like that. So, you see that because everybody's like, well, is this true? Is that a true story? Now they're finding out this is true biblically. They're finding out other things are true biblically with other different things that have happened. Yeah. And then,
They found the Ark.
yeah.
Wow.
And they probably knew about it a long time ago, but a lot of these countries, I think, are not Christian countries, so they weren't going to let people get up in there and look and see and try to prove it to be true.
For it to still be standing.
Yeah. Well, it's covered over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's probably.
So if you had a chance that bubble up and be all safe, would you go visit the Titanic?
The Titanic?
Yeah.
Or the Ark?
Titanic.
No.
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 1,000 million feet below surface for the water.
No. We've seen how that happened before. There's no way on God's green earth. You've seen these people going down there, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You-
Probably pretty spooky, too.
Whatever that, yeah, I don't, listen, there's a reason why that ship sank, whether it was whatever they think it is, iceberg hit you, whatever. That's fine. Why would you want to go all the way down there to see it? And then the way the other people, they went down to that little submarine thing and it blew up.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's 40 million miles into the ocean. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my thing is this, like, why can't you bring it up?
I think it's just too far down.
Technology, you can do anything. They can do anything. I wonder why they couldn't museum it.
Well, I mean, they've gotten stuff off the
Yeah,
ship.
yeah. Bring up the whole ship. The United States can do anything. That's what they tell us. Or just about. That's what they show us. But yeah, I thought that was interesting because I was getting this stuff on my phone, and I forgot it was 1912, so it was yesterday. 104 years.
Okay, so this is according to AI. Raising the Titanic is not feasible. The wreck is too deep, too damaged, and too fragile to be raised without causing further destruction. It says here the ship lies 12,500 feet of water, and its hull has been deteriorating for over a century, making it extremely brittle. Even if technology existed to lift such a large object from that depth, the immense water pressure and the ship's fragile state would likely cause it to disintegrate during the operation.
So now probably
That's why.
probably bacteria will eat it up. You know, like the whole rust out and just disappear maybe. I thought maybe a huge magnet could.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
12,000. How far is it now?
12,500 feet.
That's pretty far, isn't it?
Let's see what that is in miles.
Watch only coming like 5 miles.
2.5 miles.
That's it?
That's what it's saying in the air.
That's nothing.
Yep. Wait, no. It's got to be
It's
more
got to
than
be
that.
more than that. Yeah. Gotta be.
Yeah, it's 2.367 miles. Yeah, 2.3 miles. That's a long. That's like from here to.
That's not far. To 10 Mile. I mean, to the main street. That's not nothing.
Yeah, but you figure it's been in the ocean over 100 years, so it's probably deteriorated to where, like you're saying, you got to figure, you got to think about all that, that water on top of it, and it probably would deteriorate.
Yeah.
as they made it up.
At some point, it's gonna just. So what? So
I think they pretty much salvaged. They pretty much went down there. I think they got like
everything
about-
is good.
I think they got like. I think somebody said they pulled stuff off of there, like artifacts that were inside.
Yeah. So would you have not been a gentleman and jumped on a lifeboat? Because it was men and women. It was women and children first. Would you have jumped on a lifeboat?
Well, they wouldn't let you do that.
Some men did.
Well, it's not surprising. And it's probably men that were bankers and who you can pay to get. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, that would just be horrible.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
I just couldn't imagine.
That yeah, I couldn't even imagine that. And every time the movie comes on, I do watch it. I catch it, but yeah, it was interesting. So I just thought I'd throw that one out there, and it's a good. That's not a bad theory, You never know with cover-ups and scams and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it says here that they have pulled out personal belongings of passengers and crew and even some decorative pieces like statues. It's interesting.
I wonder if they found the diamond in the ocean.
Who knows?
Okay, yeah, I just thought I'm a history person. So
Program director saying check your phone.
yeah, I did. And I
You know how that
yeah,
works.
yep, I did. Got it.
So what else do you have?
Burger joints. Are you a burger guy? Because I got 3 burger joints that are coming back.
Are coming back?
Coming back. They disappeared. They're coming back strong.
All right, I want to hear.
Are you a
this.
burger guy? How do you take your burger?
I take it any way they cook it.
Done or well or what? I want done
Well,
because
I prefer it like medium well. I don't want it raw.
they say the medium well stuff is any red is not bad for you, but whatever. But a done burger ain't bad for you. But 3 burger joints that are coming back. What do you think of this?
3 burger joints that are coming back.
Making a full-fledged boom is what I'm reading. Have you ever heard of?
Were they big franchises?
Yeah, and nay.
Is that just Michigan
I don't know.
or is that all over?
I know 2 are in Michigan. The one I've never heard.
They're here now? Or they're coming back, allegedly.
They're here. Some of them are here. They're here, but they're making a big marketing promotion, coming back, food better, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Who do you think?
Hardee's?
Nope.
Burger Chef.
Nope.
Well, then you got me. I don't know.
Okay, so it is. You ever heard of Backyard Burgers?
No.
Okay. I don't know where that's at.
Wait a minute. I think I have heard of them.
Backyard Burgers.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Where were they located before?
That I don't know.
Okay.
Backyard Burgers is one. Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers is coming back?
Fuddruckers is coming back.
Well, I mean, they came out. There was a lot of them, and then they
In the 90s,
gradually
yeah.
they gradually closed.
Fuddruckers. I had a Fuddruckers is not bad. They're not bad. They're not bad. And they were, I remember they were popular spots. They were popular
Yeah,
spots.
I like Fuddruckers.
Fuddruckers is not bad at all. And last,
There's one on Jefferson.
yeah, one on Jefferson. I don't know, yeah. Is that still there? If it's still there?
No, I think it's a DaVita dialysis or something like that.
okay.
And then there was one in Southfield on Southfield Road.
So apparently these, Fuddruckers is making a comeback, even though I heard Five Guys is going to be closing. But the last one is the original Burger King.
Well, Burger King's still open.
I know, but making a bigger, like a lot of them have dropped off.
Well, I will say this. There's one right a few miles from me that they've totally remodeled, tore it down and remodeled from scratch.
The Burger King.
Burger King. Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
So, they needed. I mean,
Yeah.
When you think about Burger King, they were probably the worst when it came to their decor being ancient.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep. So, but what I read was that customer service had a lot to do with it.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
Of course it did. Customer service in fast food
everything.
stinks.
It stinks. It's everything. Customer service is everywhere. Even how you treat your neighbor. Everything is customer service. But they said Burger King is making this big push, new remodeled locations, which they needed. Remodel the locations. And I think a lot, they're tearing them down and building those same
Well, here's something for
properties
you.
back up.
Why can't these places like McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, why can't they adapt to the hospitality model of a Chick-fil-A?
Management.
Do you think it's because,
Leaders. Your leaders have to do that. They have to instill that.
well,
They have to make that, you have to make that's the culture.
sure.
That's one thing, Chick-fil-A has done. Boom, 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 hi, bye, welcome, smile on your face, service is fast. That's what I thought fast food meant. You get it faster. Some of these places should be slow food. And
And then it still stinks.
right. So, yeah. But it was interesting when I saw the Burger King. I said, wow. Because I said a lot of them close. There's none in Detroit. None.
Burger Kings?
None. You got to go out.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's not surprising.
None in Detroit. Yep.
And the McDonald's are sketchy.
I've seen a couple of them close. Yep. But I would love to see the reboot for Fuddruckers.
I mean, Fuddruckers used to be a pretty big restaurant,
Yes.
like
that's what I'm saying.
size-wise.
Yep.
Not necessarily how many locations they had.
Exactly.
It was a pretty decent size. Yeah, I think it did start in the 90s, didn't it?
Yeah. I think it was a 90s deal.
Is Ponderosa coming back?
I wish. I just told you last week. Best chicken I've ever had. Best wings. Easy. Too bad they didn't have breasts. All they had was wings. The drumettes and great chicken. Great chicken. Ponderosa. And the salad bar was great.
Well, that's true.
It was.
Well, think about all the salad. Wendy's used to have a salad.
They did. They did.
They had like 3 different things.
They did.
Salad bar, like
Taco bar.
taco, and the Italian.
Yeah. Yep.
They got rid of that.
Yep. Wendy's did start that. Absolutely. They had it. They did. Pizza Hut had a good one too, but go ahead.
No, but you know what's so funny? You talk about restaurants that, I find, like, when you talk about hospitality, why is it that some restaurants in the South are way better than restaurants in the North? Take, for instance, Golden Corral. The buffet places in the South are well kept, better, and I'm going from by my own experience. Better hospitality. It's actually people. It's almost like people actually care.
Yep.
But here, it's different. I mean, look at all the buffet places that used to be open before. You had what? Fire Mountain, Duff's,
Yep.
Country Buffet,
Yep.
Golden Corral. Golden Corral's pretty much really the only one left.
Yeah.
But to me, I think, why is it? Why do you think it is?
It goes back to the old saying like
Right.
Southern
Hospitality?
hospitality. I think things were slower in the South. So there wasn't all of this rudeness and hustle and bustle. Everything was just grown food, just people just know how to be nice, besides the slavery thing. But I just think that's what it is. I couldn't tell you. People take pride.
Well, that's true.
People take pride in the South. I know that for a fact.
Sure.
We've all been to the South, Greenville, Alabama, the Carolinas, whatever. But yeah, they take, from what I see, everybody waves, everybody talks. The Piggly Wiggly, you go into the Piggly Wiggly, the Waffle House. Everybody's nice. They're nicer.
You like Waffle House?
No,
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 I'm not a big Waffle Houser myself.
no. But yeah, I think it's the hospital.
Doc took me to a Waffle House. We were going somewhere. I'm trying to think where it was. Where was it? Where were we going?
I mean,
Anyways.
if you got to just eat something, but
we stopped at Waffle House and I'm very underwhelmed. but they're all over the place.
yeah, they are.
Everybody talks about Waffle House.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
yeah.
Some of these places I'm just like my parents. They love Texas Roadhouse.
the steakhouse.
Yeah,
They're not bad. They're not bad.
it's not my cup of tea.
It's better than the other one. What's the one?
Well, they closed that one. Logan's, you mean?
Not Logan's.
Which one?
It's this.
Longhorn?
No, it's a popular chain, but I haven't seen them around either. What's the one on Greenfield and?
Greenfield?
Yeah, it's in Greenfield and Southfield, right there. Not Logan's, not Texas. Outback.
Oh, jeez. All of these restaurants have gone into the crapper.
Yep. Yep.
Outback has done that.
Outback is terrible.
Outback was good when it first opened.
Terrible now.
Horrible.
Yeah. Maybe food, like the food costs and stuff like that.
It's possible. I mean, listen, Applebee's used to be good when it came out,
Yeah.
but now, from what I'm told, everything is pre-made before you get it to your table.
So the
you
chicken-
just have to warm it up or boil it in a bag or whatever the case may be.
Well, that's the majority. That's what Wild Wings. Wild Wings cook. They cook 50,000 wings in the morning, and then when you order them, they just microwave them. I know that for a fact.
I can believe that.
Yeah, they just microwave them, and
None of these restaurants are they
Not
all,
fresh.
it's like they all somehow or another go downhill.
Yeah.
Like Red Robin. Red Robin when it first came out was good. Now it's just like I can go to the store and buy a pre-made hamburger.
yeah, they never did anything for me.
And then the fries are good, but you can buy their seasoning. Dump it on your own fries.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know. I just think that these restaurants are just they've all kind of gone in the crapper.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all of them. There's no like. All of them I've had bad experiences with.
Well, speaking of restaurants, Oko,
whatever.
do you notice? Maybe it's just me. I think the older you get, you kind of fall into a habit of frequenting the same restaurants,
Yes. Yeah.
whether good or bad.
Whether good or bad.
I mean, my folks used to, and they've been on this kick for a long time. You know, my dad's a cheapskate. He said it on the show before. You know, so he tries to go for the whatever the best deal is. You know, we took him out to dinner one night. We didn't know if they were going to like it, so we went to Siam Spicy. Good Thai place. Went there. They're like Norm from Cheers there now, and I'm shocked. They ate there 3 times last week. 3 times. I took some people out friends from church there on Sunday, went back on Tuesday, and they were like, "Hey, what are you guys doing for dinner on Friday?" I said, "I don't know. What do you guys feel like? You guys want to go to Siam Spicy?" 3. That's 3. I told my younger brother this, and he was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's."
What they get? What when you took them? What they order?
I mean, they did nothing like a sweet and sour chicken, or my dad likes to get this soup that they have, like with all kinds of vegetables in it. He says he likes it because it's light, but then again, they eat dinner at 3:00 in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I get it, you know, and they like to hit the lunch specials, and you know. It's what they can get, you know, the senior citizen discount. But I mean, before that, I mean, they were tearing up Texas Roadhouse. Well, we get there before this time, and we can get the lunch specials. And I mean, maybe I'm not saying anything bad. Like you know, I know some people are on a fixed income to a certain extent, so they got to watch what they do.
Yeah, me.
There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like I just think frequenting restaurants too much. It's got to be something with age, don't you think?
I think you just run out of stuff.
I mean, it's
Like
possible.
when you go to a grocery store, like okay, if you chicken, spaghetti, you know, like you just run out of stuff. There's no hamburger.
All right.
So you get into your ways of same thing with restaurant. You know.
Yeah.
You find something good. That you go a restaurant. You go to it. You like going to it. You frequent it more.
Well, I think too is like I really feel like it's just these. You're right. You get tired of cooking different things, and then with the way prices are for different things in regards to groceries.
Yeah.
You're going to spend as much going grocery shopping as you are going out to eat, and then you don't have to clean up.
Right. So you just pick the one you like and you frequent it. Yep.
But maybe it's just getting older. I don't know if I want to go to the same place 2 or 3 times in one week. I mean, it's not like everybody's going to go to Tim Hortons or Starbucks. That's not, I'm talking about to go for dinner.
Right.
I don't know if I really want. I mean, I have done it. frequented it. But I think after a while, you go to these places 2-3 times in a 2-week period, maybe 4 times in a 2-week period.
Mm-hmm.
It starts. It loses its savor.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just thought myself, this has got to be a older thing.
No, you're comfortable, frequent.
I mean, my dad goes to every day. He goes to Leo's in the morning, and
Leo's Coney.
He's going to McDonald's every day, and then he's either going to Texas Longhorn, Texas Roadhouse, Olive Garden, or it's the craziest thing.
Wow.
Every day.
That's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you could go. And like I said, even Olive Garden isn't what it used to be.
No.
These restaurants are not what they used to be.
Not. Yeah. I've heard that, older couples, that's what older, couples like. I saw on the ID channel, this professor, a really smart guy, he got murdered. Some kid murdered him in Ann Arbor, actually, stealing, laptops and things like that. And he was at home, just retired professor, very smart guy. And he and his wife used to frequent Wendy's every morning, every day or something like that.
Okay.
And they made it's in Ann Arbor now. That's like a little statue thing, remembering thing for him. So it's you can always find that routine with, the elderly population, where they just be having coffee or they're familiar with it. They like, that's their thing. So I get it. Like the Leo's Coney stuff, that's breakfast. Probably goes there for breakfast every day.
Sure.
So yeah. It's just, and it is, I agree with you. It is an older thing. We get used to. I go to Starbucks every day. So.
I don't know. I just something about trying. I mean, and it's hard to be able to find a variety of things every day.
Because there's only so much as a variety. You got your meats and your vegetables. What else?
And it's true. I mean, because even when we went on a cruise late last year, it's like it's the same stuff. And by the end of the week, I was tired of eating it. It's like you can only. To me, it's like this. Breakfast is good, and I've been to some decent breakfast spots that I like, but breakfast can kind of get blah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Pizza can get blah.
Same thing, just in a different way, different location. Yeah, it's the same thing.
What else you got? You gotta get it off your chest.
I gotta. Yeah.
Tell it like it is. It's just my opinion.
Just my opinion. Quick. We don't have Sarah. She was talking about this. We touched on this in one of her gossip columns, or one of her whatever she called.
Are we talking about when she decided to blame all of her problems or all of her millennium problems on our generation?
Not that one, but
not that one.
We got to research.
We'll get that back on Thursday.
She asked were we going to be interested in Will Smith's album. So real quick,
yeah,
nobody is. And the question I have to you. The album is called Based on a True Story. He has collaborations. It didn't even make the 200 Billboard, right? Is Will Smith
done?
Okay, next topic.
No, I'm serious. I mean, when he slapped Chris Rock on that show, on the, Oscars or whatever it was, that was it. I mean, I think people are getting tired of these shenanigans. And why?
What? Yeah.
I mean, that was just, that did him. I mean, if you're going to put a nail in the coffin of your career, slap somebody up on this.
Or be
it was
violent.
A joke.
Yeah. From a comedian. A comedian that you know very well.
Yeah.
That you've known, that you've worked with. Chris Rock was on The Fresh Prince. He made an appearance on The Fresh Prince.
Isn't it funny though when you look at these family oriented shows? I mean, don't get me wrong. I know people are, a lot of it's a facade and how people are. But I mean, look at Bill Cosby. He was like America's dad, and then you find out down the road that he liked to partake in drugging women and having sex with them.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all these other people like Will. You know, that was a kind of a family-oriented show.
It was.
And
It was.
look at him now.
So it's called acting.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, you always hear stories of the a lot of these. Well, and like I said, I think people when they look at these shows or movies, they think that's how these people are in real life, and they're not.
They're not. Yeah, I don't know. So that was the whole thing. You said it. We don't have to even go more into it.
Right.
But I think that was the slap. First of all, it looked fake. I didn't even realize it was real. Will may have been on something. Like, who does that? You know, and I think it clearly affected his career. So I don't know. I don't even look for him in any major movie. I mean, yeah, you can do The Bad Boy, but I mean, how many are you going to make of those? 10. So I never loved Will as an actor anyway.
Right.
Will is talented. He can rap. But I just started back because we touched on it before. Sarah touched on it, the album coming out, and it's all around the world. It's just flopping. It's not doing anything. So
Right.
the question was, is this it? You know, he has enough money to, obviously generational wealth, so you don't have to do anything else. But people like to act. They like to stay in the limelight. They like to continue to be football players, a la Jerry Rice, with braids playing for the Seattle Seahawks. So people like to do what they do, their craft, forever, if they can do it.
Sure.
So I don't know if this, I don't know if this is it for Will. I don't know. We'll see. But in my opinion, first before I get into that,
Sure.
prayers goes out to the folks that crashed in the Hudson, them and their families. The helicopter, you see that?
Unfortunately, it did. Yeah. It was bad.
It was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad. So prayers goes out. My prayers from us at the Cohen Bro goes out to those families who lost their loved ones. But in my opinion, this is my opinion, folks. Don't everybody get mad about it. So I'm watching the Today Show. I watched that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Young lady, she's swimming, Florida, beach. Got her arm bitten off and her leg bitten off, right? Forgot the young lady's name. She's making a comeback. She has the arm. She's doing everything. Everything looks great. Pretty little young girl. Spirit is good and all that stuff. She's young. She's a kid.
Right.
She was in 3 feet of water on this beach. So,
Yeah, it's
in my
crazy.
opinion, so she's coming back. You know, she's got her leg, the leg and the arm, and she's doing very well. Spirits are high. But 90 feet away from where she was, another shark attack. My opinion, go to the pool. So can't they do something about, you can't swim here, this is shark infested? Why do you keep allowing people to go
You know, I don't
to a
know.
beach? Like, seriously, is it do they say sharks at your own risk? Do they say like 3 feet of water?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just wherever that was at.
Florida, I forgot the name. I forgot the name of the beach, but it's a popular beach. But 3 feet of water, then it happens.
Well, you wouldn't
Right
think
away.
of it in 3 feet of water,
Exactly.
but I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy when you think about it, and you see it. You're hearing about this more and more and more.
More and more and more, just like ice fishing.
Right.
What's the difference between ice fishing? Is the fish different if you just let the ice clear? Can you wait till the summer to fish, or are you going to fall
I
in
think
the ice?
it's just hey, let's walk. I wouldn't be caught dead
Nothing.
sitting on ice, and then you have to cut a hole in the ice.
To get to it.
Right. Yeah.
This is
So
not-
I think
can-
it's
can we just
people's
out-
preference. I'm not a big fisherman anyway, so I don't see the thrill in it. But
Yeah.
some people do. I don't want to sit anywhere outside in the cold, and then
Right.
you have to. But you see it all the time. People
See it all
falling
the
through the
time.
ice.
People falling through the ice. Sharks biting you. Sharks killing people. Sharks swallowing people. Like, I don't understand. Like, can't the beach... And there's no boundary for the shark. The shark can come close to, obviously 3 feet of water.
Yeah, I thought I had heard that sometimes these beaches put up netting, like some kind of netting, but I don't. Obviously, I'll only to a certain.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to the ocean, I don't really
curious.
think there's much
you can
you're
do
going to
about
be
it?
able to do, especially with them waves coming in the way they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love the Pacific Ocean. It's my favorite ocean out of the ones I've been to.
Okay.
And when I would love to lay on the beach or whatever. I'll get in maybe about knee deep, but just to swim. I'm not that great of a swimmer, so I wouldn't want to go out far, like these guys that surf and stuff.
Right.
But you almost got to ask yourself, why are these animals doing this?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if there's something with the climate or something going on below the sea surface
that close,
they're not everything's kind of changing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's not enough food for them, so now they have to come up and
that's the thing.
bite humans.
That's the thing. What's going on with that? That's the question I'm just putting out there. So
that is a good
that's
question.
just my opinion. Go to the pool. Stay away, but
Go to the pool.
good recoveries to her.
Yeah.
I got her name, but that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what else you want to?
Well, we're coming back, folks, to the Corn Bro will be back, next week, Thursday, too?
Thursday,
Well,
too?
this week, Thursday.
Yeah, this week.
It's Sunday.
So a few days away.
Taxes.
Yep.
Hit up Dez.
Yep.
Shout out
Definitely.
Dez.
Yeah.
Shout out Dez. You got about 3 days left. 3 days left
Yep.
for your taxes to get done. Let's check out these Pistons.
Yeah.
See how serious they are, how good they are.
Keep up with the Tigers.
Kate is nice, though.
Yeah.
Kate is nice. Keep up with the Tigers. Follow those guys up till Thursday. Always a pleasure to watch Scoobs pitch. So he'll be pitching this next series, the Milwaukee series, which is dope. See what happens with. I know you're gonna check out you got your football today, right? UFL.
Yeah, we'll check that out. All right, folks. Well,
Shout out to Hallie.
shout out to Hallie as usual.
No doubt.
And we will see you next time on the Co and Bro Opinion Show. See ya. You can follow the Co and Bro Opinion Show on all major podcasting platforms or catch the YouTube live show at Kavana Broadcast Network. If you'd like to contact the show, feel free to email us at cobropodcast@gmail.com or DM us at Cobro Opinion Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you for listening.
But you can't stay here. Let's go. Out.
This concludes our broadcast day.
You filthy animal.